morning, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from Mason Works Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone with my friends, Dr. Dream and Stephanie. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
I saw you grooving to my music there.
Absolutely. We have fun, whatever we're doing.
Me too. And that's what we really are hoping that people understand, that this time of high energy and joy is a choice. It's a choice, all of this. So for people that are new to know all about you, I got to meet you, I bet it was, 10 years ago, when I got to be in a concert down in Denver with 55 bowls, I think. And then I came back, I think the year later, and did even more. I mean, you must have hit 100 bowls. I don't know how you guys did it, but it was so awesome. So I've been a big fan, and I love the rose oil. I got to get some more. They have the best rose oil I've ever experienced, the highest vibe stuff. So anyway, but why don't we start so the audience can learn about what you're doing now, Mark and Stephanie, because when I met you, you guys were just helping each other. You weren't dating really yet. Or maybe you were dating, but you weren't married, and you are now. So why don't you share a little bit about your journey, and maybe explain about the journey to the bowls. I mean, that's such a cool story in itself.
Excellent. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us on your show. This is really wonderful, and we do go back years, and so it's always nice to be back with you. I started the Tour of Love in January of 2010, and at that time it was based on Rife Frequencies. I'd get small groups of people together, all connected to the Rife Frequency device, with frequencies like peace unfolding from within and things like that. And I would do these experiences, and I was really kind of experimenting at that time. It was tuning forks and drums and some things like that. And then several years into it, someone came up to me and said, I can get you, I've got a contact with a family in Nepal. I can get you as many Himalayan Healing Bowls as you would ever want. And I thought, well, I'm kind of feel like I'm growing out of these 10 to 15 people experiences. I'd really like to do something bigger. It's so hard to get people's attention. So I ordered 333 bowls, and I did a 333 bowl experience and started traveling around the country with it. Now, not every center that we went to could handle it. So I did 33, 55, 111, 222, and 333 based on the number of volunteers I thought I could get. It was Dr. Dream and his band of angels, and the angels were my volunteers from each community, and started traveling with that. And then in 2017, Stephanie saw me do an event for the Star Knowledge family in Desert Hot Springs. And then in January of 2018, she signed up to be in the band of angels. And not basically, but I mean, we've been together ever since then, and got married in 2021. I should have known that off the top of my head.
We also we started dating in 2017.
Oh, so we met in 2016.
Yes.
Okay, so there I go, numbers. And it's been the whole tour has been nothing short of amazing. We went to Nepal in 2019, December, and at that time we were drawing between 200 and 500 people to our standalone sound healing events. We got to Nepal, and our family there told us that we had moved over 7,000 bowls for the different villages that we were supporting. And so it was it was huge for them. At that point, we were sending $13,000 every month to Nepal. And I mean, in my world, $13,000 a month is a lot. In Nepal, it's a huge amount. So we've had a big impact. But then in 2020, I had back-to-back strokes in September of 2020, and everything sort of changed at that point, of course. It was in Idaho. I was having trouble finding alternative methods of healing. And Dr. Sandra Rose Michael reached out to me and said that she was the inventor of a scalar technology that people that had had strokes had really remarkable experiences with. And if I could get to Las Vegas, that she would introduce me to all of this. And at that time, I was in a wheelchair, barely able to use a walker. We got down to Stephanie's family drove us to Las Vegas, got down there, and after 2 hours, I was able to walk unassisted. And it was the beginning of basically a 3-year, very focused healing journey, hours and hours and hours in the EE system, scalar energies. And then just this past fall of 2023, we started touring again. And this year is going to be our banner year at this moment right now. If we don't book anything else, and I'm a booking maniac, if we don't book anything else, we will do 130 events this year. So we'll probably top out this year at about 140, 145 events. And so it's the whole story between the tour of love, our love story, the healing journey, and everything else has just been, I mean, it's the story of my life. It's my favorite story. And it's a beautiful story, and we're touching lots of people and helping people change their lives. And this is what we're here to do.
Oh, that's so perfect. I love that. When I was looking for a picture for this thumbnail, every picture of you guys, you're just so full of joy. And that's a recipe for success right now, because there's chaos out here, but we don't have to have it affect everything inside. Could you talk a little bit about that?
You want to take this?
I mean, really, we're all conscious creators if we choose to be. You know, as they say, like, our minds are a temple. I'm really big in trying our best to invite peace to reside within our beings. That way, you know, if you have peace residing and living within you, you can really navigate the world with grace and ease. And then also gratitude, having gratitude for what we have. Starting off every day thinking about the things that you're grateful for, and not just thinking about 5 or 6 different things, but like really like working on a gratitude list, getting a good amount of numbers in there and thinking about like your family members, good health, mobility, beautiful sunsets, the wonderful mountains. There is so much to be grateful for. And when you're holding that energy, it is so high vibrational. It'll just set you off for a great day every time.
I've never met anyone before Stephanie that has the level of gratitude she has for the life experience. And I'm sure that was a major contributor to my healing process and just everything we do. This year we're on the road away from home 49 weeks away from our home in Idaho. You can imagine the things that we run into along the way. 145 events. Not everything always is just going to be, you know, smooth as you want it to be. And being in gratitude, as Stephanie says, and starting the day with that energetic, and then going through the whole day with that, you just keep getting things reflected back to you to have gratitude for. I joke that I made a deal with God. Right, I made a deal with God. But anyway, years ago, I made a deal with God that if it wasn't fun, I wasn't going to do it. And I've held true to that. And sometimes I'll be doing something and I'll say to myself, this doesn't seem like fun. And then there's a voice in my head saying, yeah, but if you're doing it, it must be fun because you made that deal with God. And so everything's perspective. I often say if they didn't call me Dr. Dream, they'd call me the spin doctor, because it's taking whatever it is. And if the one perspective of it doesn't look or feel good, there must be another way to turn it around and see a different side of it.
But really, when people do get his name wrong, they call him Dr. Love, and it is equally fitting to Dr. Dream.
I love that. I love that.
And another thing would be like when things aren't going the way that you want them to go, just to hold a good attitude. You can sink yourself by allowing it to affect you on a negative level, or if you just know that like you're going to get through it, like you're going to be to another moment that's not going to be as uncomfortable. Like you can hold that good attitude, and it will get you everything in life, having a good attitude.
Yeah. And I think that vibe attracts more. I mean, it's a magnet for more good stuff. So when you're looking for that, that's what you find. And hopefully people that are watching this will be reminded that, oh yeah, I've got it. If I start to go off, I can turn it around and change, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So how do you see the vibrational work changing? The technology has taken it from bowls, which I still have several over there, bowls from Rife machine to bowls to I really like the Vibe machine and all these Tesla type machines. And then we've got the EES. How do you see humanity's journey with all of this frequency medicine? Because you've got the ancient medicine with the 7 layers of metal bowls that have 7 different frequencies in each bowl or more. Some of your bowls had 2 tones in them. Those are the ones I got. Yeah, could you talk a little bit about how you see that for people's well-being right now?
I mean, for us, it's the tools that work for us. We've always said if they work for us, they'll work on anybody. The bowls have been just a mainstay. Now doing the bowls, gongs, tuning forks, crystal pyramid, all these different tools within the EE system, scalar energies, it just amplifies it and makes it even more powerful. But I think we've all known that the future is really energy medicine. Because at this point, if the doctors could have created, well, why would they want to create one pill that would take care of everything? They would put them all out of business. But people are disillusioned with regular medicine and the 10 or 14 prescriptions that they're being told they're going to have to take the rest of their lives to keep themselves balanced in this and that, when truly our bodies we have the innate ability within our bodies to heal ourselves, but we live in a compromised environment. And so to be able to go into an EE system center, which there's like over 400 of them all over the world, and get your cells recharged so then your body can go ahead and heal itself. I mean, I'm a testimonial to that. 2 hours in an EE system. And I was able to walk past my walker unassisted, not balancing myself on any furniture, walls, or anything. 2 hours. Now, it took me hours and hours and hours to get my equilibrium back and to continue the process. But every single day, all over the world, people are having incredible healing experiences, miracles, literal miracles with these frequencies. And what's next to come down the pipeline? I mean, the med beds, this and that. I mean, this is the future, and truly it's here now. And it's really nice to combine traditional sound healing with something as futuristic as the Tesla-inspired scalar energies.
Stephanie, how do you feel when you're in them? I can see that Mark has a before and after story, but you're healthy. And did you feel a vibrancy or a change in how you felt in the world?
Yes, to an extent. I feel like when I'm in the EE system rooms, like I feel very calm and energized at the same time. So like it's kind of like balancing my energy field. The time that I noticed the most like benefit from it was when he had just recently had a stroke, and I was experiencing a great level of stress. I found that it was really, really, really beneficial to go during those times because I felt like it alleviated my stress. For the most part, I am quite like healthy and bouncy. So I feel good when I'm in the rooms. And hopefully it is preventing any illnesses from popping up in my future.
I can see you have Nassim Harriman's, I don't know, it's a UFO to me.
It's the art crystal.
So, you do both have them? Oh, you lucky ducks. Oh my gosh.
So
see, and I've got Brian Besco's things on, and I've got his stuff everywhere.
I've got one of Brian's pieces right here. It
the different one. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Right?
We're huge fans of Brian Besco and twistedsage.com. His energetic tools are some of the absolute finest, and they make their way into our experiences all the time.
Yeah. I have a Flower of Life tool that spins with a Lemurian crystal at the top of my room. And when I need to crank. So how do you feel that the energies of these, I'll back up. I co-sponsored a event, I want to say 8 years ago, that was called Evolve Expo, and it was down in Denver. And the last one we did, there were booth after booth after booth of people having electronics, energy devices. So it was a precursor to the EES type of thing. There wasn't a vibe machine, but there was everything there. That pulse therapy. There was all sorts of stuff. So I think humanity's accepting these devices now. But do you see that our mind can do it too once we're entrained to remember? See, I think the ancients used sound in the same way to create the frequency, and we've just forgotten. Do you feel that that's part of this is remembering, or do you feel it's a whole different level?
I think that it's multi-layered. I've always said that the greatest tool that any of us have available to us is right here. Mm-hmm. And it's our attention to our intention. It's realizing our self-talk. This is where we're creating from. This is where we're creating our reality from. And the tools are incredibly fabulous. That being said, between what they're spraying in the skies and what they're spraying on our food and all the EMFs and everything else, we, as I stated before, we live in a compromised environment that has an impact on our cells. And so energetics like the EE system and other energetics, healing energetics, we wear the pendants and the art crystal and all sorts of, we're surrounded. This is our RV that we're in right now. We're surrounded with tensor rings and all sorts of energetics to help us maintain that peak level and protect us, as it were, from what's going on outside of us. There was all that being said, it brings to mind a fascinating channeling that I read one day from, it was channeled from Dr. Peebles. And he was saying that if you have an apple in front of you and it's not organic, and it's your focus on the fact that it's not organic and that it's got pesticides on it, even before you take a bite of the apple, that is entering your field. And so, there is this thing, we bless our food, we bless palm chakras, we have them for a reason. We bless everything all the time before we put it into our bodies. And, there's times we're on the road all the time. There's times we can't always get the finest organic food, or you never know what that chef in the back had that argument with his wife that morning and he's still carrying around that energy and that's being infused into your food or whatever. So it's up to us all the time, whether you're in an EE system or you're just going about living your life, blessing everything, holding everything in the highest energetic, and stopping that negative spin on so much of what's going on. It's good to be aware, but it's not good to own it so much that it's bringing your vibration and your energetic field down.
Perfect. Thank you. Steph, did you want to add something there too?
Let me see. I mean, I really do feel like the mind is the most powerful thing. And it's like a tool, I mean, you can have a saw, but if you don't know how to use a saw, it's not really going to do you much good. So while I do feel like there are a lot of benefits in the different energetic tools out there, I think that the most important thing to master is mastery of the mind, and getting yourself to be in a state where you can allow the not so positive thoughts to exist, because obviously they will exist, but not to dwell on them and not to keep them cycling, but to really do focus on the power within your being, like the palm chakras and like the love energy. Like love is such a high vibrational energy. So I'm really big on training the mind to overcome the different challenges that are out there.
Now, I have to add that Stephanie just got back from a 10-day silent meditation. And so talk about high vibe and everything. She spent the majority of a 10-day experience meditating, being with her thoughts, moving through things. I mean,
yeah, and away from all types of energetic tools. You're not allowed to take anything there. So I didn't have my art crystal. I wasn't even allowed to take my wedding ring. So it just takes you away from all of the creation that we've been creating and just back to strictly like to the mind. And I've always felt like there's a lot of power in that. And I feel even more strongly about that after those 10 days.
Now, see, for me, I'm looking for the 10-day talking meditation, where I can go and talk for 12 hours a day.
And the more people know you, they'll understand. Well, how do you see us as a humanity evolving? Because you have the reference point of the Love Tour, and then now Everything's Good. It's All Good tour, which we'll show the website in a little bit. But how do you see? I'm seeing more people getting together and finding each other because of the electronics. Zoom is incredible. So I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing people working through their shadows big time. No one really staying in judgment, because you can see where it is. It's you're in judgment of, kind of. Do you see that? Or, I mean, you're driving all over the U.S., so you're seeing so many different cultures within the U.S. Are you seeing anything that you'd like to share? Because the rest of us are kind of stuck in one place. It'd be cool to know what you see.
I just start off by saying that it takes a lot of courage for all of us to be human at this time right now. And we chose to come back for this. We see people waking up to the greater realities of who they are and embracing taking their power back. And realizing that it's coming from them. And if their experience is challenged, that they can play a role in shifting that. Being that the tour is very much based on the EE system centers around the country, we're seeing people that are already reaching for an alternative to regular allopathic medicine and prescriptions and things like that. They may not be quite ready for all of the sound healing therapies and everything we bring and some of the perspectives we bring, but they're already reaching for a greater empowerment and an alternative that makes sense to them outside of traditional medicine. And so it's powerful. We what we offer, our new hashtag is hashtag not a sound bath. Because what we offer is an opportunity for deep healing. And the reason we call it an opportunity is people have free will and free choice. But we guide people in this powerful experience to go deep within their process, to really identify how they're creating the less than comfortable aspects of their experience. And the whole time, we're just loving them and holding space for them to move into those areas. And after the experience, we offer at no charge to all the participants our 21-day conscious creation program. We offer 20-minute no charge phone calls because we know we trigger people in the experience. There may be someone there who is there because they've got, stage 4 cancer, and this sounds like a good alternative. And then I get up there and say, hey, what's connected in your emotional body to that stage 4 cancer? Because that stage 4 cancer started in your emotional body and you didn't address it, and now it's got to show up on your physical body. And so I know that we trigger people with all this. So we offer the 20-minute no charge phone calls for people that want to really go deeper and connect with what's going on. And it's just another extension of our being in service to humanity. And so we're seeing, the pockets that we reach all over the country have a common denominator, and that is people are searching for something deeper. They know that it exists, and they're taking courageous steps in that direction.
Great. I think you're also modeling what love can do and the power of love. The two of you, even before you were married, and us watching you on your journey and seeing your cool wedding rings and cheering you on from the sidelines. You don't realize how many people that gives a different perspective of life to, that may not have that in their lives, but want to know it's possible. So that's really cool too. So you're doing gongs now too. Are you finding that I love gong baths. Are you finding that that frequency is more powerful, or what is it about the combination or the new orchestra that you've created? Could you talk about that a little?
Absolutely. Love to. We're adding new energetic tools all the time, and it's complementing what we're doing. Everything just sort of works in a beautiful synergy with each other. The gongs are amazing. We have 5, 6, 7 master gongs. Most of the time we only have room to set up one, unless we're at a Unity Center or something like that. We were at the Pyramid at the Unity Center in Houston. We had 80 people there, and we had 5 gongs out for that one, 22 bowls, the tuning fork from Earth Tune that's like literally this big.
The vibration coming off that thing is amazing.
And we have that at all the EE system centers, so you can definitely tap into that. But everything just works together. But it's just the same way Stephanie and I have opened ourselves up to be a conduit for the love and the unconditional love and healing power of Source, God, the universe. These tools are a conduit for that energy also to flow through us from Source, through the tool, into the people in front of us. And that's our intention. We go up to everyone with the bowls and the different tools, and we're literally taking the bowl up to them and pouring the love with the sound and vibration into them. And yes, it makes a difference, and it's a beautiful thing.
Definitely does. And I really feel like, different vibrations move energy in a different way. So I like the combination of all the different vibrational tools, because it really does it provokes energy to move in different directions.
you get a workout.
Yes, we definitely do.
If you've got 5 gongs and there's only 2 of you, and you're doing bowls, somebody's moving a lot.
Yes, we definitely put a lot of energy and effort into the experiences that we provide, but it fulfills us on the deepest levels, and we love being able to do the work.
Right. Well, are you finding that people are going to multiple ones of these? Are people signing up? We'll show the website in a second, but are you finding that you've got groupies following you kind of now?
We absolutely do. We had 2 people recently. This one woman who's just been so amazing, loving us and loving the energy. Her name is Denise. She did a fabulous testimonial for us. I think she said she's seen us 5 times. I think her first time was in 2018 or 2019. And then she came and saw us in March at the Kansas City Metaphysical Fair. She saw us in April.
It was May the 4th.
Right.
May the 4th be with you.
So March, May the 4th, then in Kansas City at Mystic Medicine KC. And then she drove over 5 hours round trip to be an event that I was doing in Whitewater, Kansas. And it just, I could tear up right now because you realize for someone to do that they are just absolutely loving the energy. They see us for who we are, and like energy attracts like energy. It's amazing. When we were on the tour, we used to have we had a dear friend of ours from coming to our events that would be at all of our Southern California events, and then drove 6 hours each way to Arizona to be an event we did in Arizona. And so we really do fill people up with the energy. The top quote that you'll see on our website says, take any opportunity you have to go to one of Dr. Dream and Stephanie's sessions and show up with an open mind and an open heart, because it will change your life forever. And that's very humbling, but truly that's why we do what we do. And I believe that's why God, Source, the universe sent Dr. Sandra to us and all these other healing practitioners that have played a wonderful role in getting us back on tour doing what we're here to do.
And also, one thing that's been very common since we restarted the tour is somebody will come to an event and they'll absolutely love the experience, and then they'll bring friends or family members to another event that we're doing locally in the area. And then we've added, since we started this tour, private events. And so sometimes people will come to the event and they'll be like, wow, I love this. I want to host you guys for a private and invite my whole family. So we do that also, depending on our availability.
So literally, we have the portable EE system, EE Cube, that we take to people's homes with whatever amount of energetic other tools can fit in their home. And some people have a big enough home that they can have 10 people there. And it gets to be in the privacy of their own home. And for a little additional add-on, we can set up the EE Cube in their bedroom that night and leave it overnight for them to sleep in the scalar energies.
I want one. I didn't know there was a little portable one. My goodness, every time I've looked at them, it's like, this is so cool, because there are other people selling scalar type products. I used to, years ago, every other Wednesday, a group of 14 to 18 of us would come to my office, and in the conference room, the gentleman would bring a device that was a Merkaba that spun, and he'd have frequencies. And so it was a delivery system with his frequencies. We were kind of guinea pigs. We did it for 3 years, every other Wednesday. And so that I just love all of this energy. It definitely makes me feel good for days afterwards. So you guys, if you are watching this and you really there's not enough B12 to get you rocking, your batteries really way down, this could be the impetus for you to feel great again and to really get your vitality going. Because during these times of change that we're going through, we have to have the energy to make creative problem-solving decisions. And if your battery is way low, you're going to be unable to come up with creative choices. Right? I didn't know it was a little one. Oh my. Okay. This dangerous conversation here. So should I show the website now so you can talk a little bit more about the website? Are you good with that? I'm going to go to the front page first and then we'll go to events. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure. Oops. Driving the car here. Here we go. Okay, so you want to tell us it's allgood.com, which is, where do you come up with these great names? My goodness. It's so perfect.
It's All Good was the name that I gave my company in 1994.
Oh.
When I was doing websites and marketing, and it makes me really happy that it's turned into, presenting the healing energies and the home for our tour of love and everything. We've got a great web team, and it's things have changed so much since I was doing the websites myself that I need now outside people to help me. But we keep it updated all the time. On the front page, there's a video that someone did at one of our first events back last fall in Orlando, and it's scalar recovery, sacred sound healing, and it's a beautiful video. It's maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and he did a great job editing it. You see right there the picture of Stephanie and myself with Dr. Sandra. And then I'm holding a crystal pyramid on someone's head. Also. Oh, right. The EE Cube with Brian Besco's Twisted Sage, Tensor Ring Energetics. It's the website. It's such a great thing for us. We've really focused on lots of testimonials because, we kind of say the same things all the time. We get a little stuck in our own languaging. We just did our 700, and I started in 2010. I just did my 754th energetic group event just recently, 754. And we took 4 years off for the COVID reset and my own healing.
Wow.
It's amazing. So we get to post all these different testimonials from people, and so many of them say it's a game changer. It changed my life. It's all of these things, and then we're updating the events page. I'm basically right now updating the events page every day. We're already starting to add events for next year, and currently we have 70 events from next week until the end of the year, all over the country. And so if what we're saying sounds good to you and you want to check it out, go to itsallgood.com, and at the top there's a link to events. And if you're not in one of those cities, I guarantee you know someone in one of those cities, and send them the link and say, hey, you may just want to check this out. It sounds pretty good.
So I have a question about this device. I've never seen that one. That I don't know if you can see my cursor. It's where you're bending down, and it looks like a copper tube with sacred geometry spirals on it. What is that?
This is a tuning fork amplifier, and it's got a tuning fork in one end. Generally, we use the I Am That I Am tuning fork in there, and take people through a process of energizing I Am That I Am statements. It's made in the style of the sacred Vajras. It's copper with copper tensor rings. It's got a stone for each direction, and then on the tip, it's an organite generator tip with tensor rings inside of it and a stone.
Wow.
And if anyone is interested, they can email me and I can send you the information on the gentleman that makes those. You get to customize different aspects of it.
Wow. I want to read this to everyone. Here is a quote on the website. Mark is an angel in human form, working for our Creator to bring more love, light, and healing to people. As I have been there, experienced it, and am forever grateful for a godsend. And then somebody else, Leon, said, this was a life-altering experience for which I am very grateful. So do you want to talk about any of this, and then we'll go to the event page afterwards?
We have the Rose Frequency, which we have, you mentioned already, the Rose products. We're just building out our store on this site, and we're expanding that, but we have the Rose Frequency and the Frankincense Frequency and some other products available. Years ago, Stephanie and I created something called PLEL, and it's positive, loving, energetic loopers. And this came out of the experience that we had. We'd have 500 people in front of us in the audience, and people would line up to talk to us afterwards. And what we started seeing is that many, many people were so excited to be there and wanted so much from us that it was just like they were drawing and drawing and drawing from us. And I don't believe in energy vampires. I believe that both Stephanie and I are connected to the unlimited wellspring of energy. And so we have it available all the time. So no one can take anything from me that I give away freely. Right. But I get bored with people that are just take. And we started to identify that there was even more and more, not more than the takers, but more people were stepping up and doing what we call completing the loop. And that's the positive, loving, energetic loopers. And we call it PLEL. And so people are PLELing with us. And we're going to build that out. We've got some stickers now for it, but that's about as far as we've gone. But it's just a reminder that every interaction with another human is a two-way street. And everybody has something to receive and everybody has something to give. And that's the PLEL, complete the loop.
Oh, that's fabulous. And I think that what happens is that way you're grounding in the energies that they got so that it becomes part of their essence rather than just an experience. I mean, that's the thing. Even in the older days where you had samadhi with a guru in the front of the room, you'd go to this other energy frequency, and then either you'd have ascension flu afterwards, or you just couldn't hold it. And so what I think that sounds great, that you'd be giving a way to balance and control and integrate the energies.
Absolutely. And it's just, people used to say to me, how do I know I'm going to, and then they would frame it based on their belief system, heaven, ascension, the new world. And I would say there's one test to ask yourself to identify if you're going to whatever that is for you. And that is, are you more than 51% in service to others? And if you are, whatever your religion, whatever your belief system, you've figured out the formula. And this is, we give away the phone calls, we give away the notes for the experience, we give away the 21-day program. And it's all to stay in that energetic of literally being in service for others and not asking for anything. And I can share with you that we live a very abundant life, and I believe it has everything to do with that specific energetic.
Yeah, I agree. I've been doing this show for 5 years, and I don't charge for any of it. So the opportunity to grow yourself and to help others, it's never ending, really, if you look for it.
Right.
So let's look at the events page real quick. I I did that real quick to on here you have another video, right?
This is Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. We did an event with her. She's the inventor and founder of EE System. And we just did a little 2.5-minute clip of her introducing us in a Zoom, international Zoom experience we did where we played the bowls. And then below that are the dates of our tour. And again, we keep this updated. I update this on a daily basis. We have 70 events coming up between now and the end of the year. There's links to the flyer. There's links to how to get tickets. There's all the information. We're going all over the country. Next year, we'll be going out of the country. We're doing those plans right now, which is exciting for us. I look at this list as you're scrolling through it, and it just tickles me that this is what we're doing. Prior to this year, the biggest number of dates that I did was in 2010 when I started the tour. Neil from Portal to Ascension was traveling with me for part of the year, and we did 94 events that year. This year, after all the everything, the back-to-back strokes, all of the struggles, the COVID reset and everything else, we're going to come in at about 140, 145 events. And I've got a thing that I love saying, and that is, what strokes? And I hope it serves as like a beacon of hope for other people that have gone through challenges. And what keeps us back? If it wasn't for Stephanie after my strokes, if I had been alone during all of that, I don't think I'd be back touring at all. I don't think that I think that my life would be remarkably different. And so I love sharing the story and the hope and the faith in the why of our existence and owning that. We each have a reason that we've embodied to be here right now on this timeline, in this reality. We have gifts to share. And yes, stuff's going to show up, the glitches in the matrix and all of this. But I often say, I didn't come here to be crushed by this reality. I came here to rise up and play my role. And we hope that our tour and our story and everything we do empowers other people. I can't imagine anyone would want to be doing what we're doing, but everyone has a role. And
right.
And we just want people to be empowered to identify what their role is and get out there and do it, because that's what's going to change the world. That is the hope for humanity with everything that's going on, and all the AI stuff where we're wondering what's real anymore and all this. Like, being real, authentic, and true to ourselves is going to be quite the commodity as we progress into these interesting times.
Well, I like AI, so don't think all AI is bad. AI is a tool like a hammer or a screwdriver, and it's so like any tool, it can be used in all different ways. But I would like to say that you are exemplifying that love heals, and I think that that's what we forgot. And that a lot of these tools amp up the love frequency energy, whether it's the incredible rose oil. I don't know how you do that. It's my favorite. Or the frequencies from the gongs and the bowls are quite amazing. There was a gong bath presenter that just passed. His name was Richard Rudis, and he had blood samples from before and after a gong bath. And before the gong bath, all the cells were all stuck together, and afterwards they were all spread apart and happy. And so, what we're talking about is what the indigenous and the ancient cultures knew: going to the beach, getting salt water, all of these things and the diet, everything was commonly known that we've forgotten. So you're bringing back a lot of that opportunity for ourselves to remember and for our traumas to be released with ease and grace instead of with torture. Basically, the fear mime or whatever virus is real. And so what I see, your gifts are a way to see a different opportunity than staying in the media, staying in that fear and churning and using all your energies just to survive when this was supposed to be a playground, right?
No, that's awesome. Thank you so much for saying that. And it just means a lot. And people are getting it. People are finding their way. And we used to say back in the day, I'm old enough to say that now, like this is the real thing. It's no longer a dress rehearsal. And it's more true now today than ever. And everything, if we choose it to be, is an opportunity to stand in our power and to make a difference in the world. But people get it backwards sometimes and think we've got to go out into the world to make a difference, when really it's an inside job. And whatever we shift inside ourselves will be reflected in the outer world. And if everyone just stopped for an hour and made some beautiful shift inside themselves one day, it would change everything. And that's what we're about.
Yes, perfect. So every Thursday, I'm in a group that we do this work for the whole world, where we work on clearing and adding the magic back in and the joy back in. So I see what you're doing as part of that recipe for success. What I'd like to again ask about is the courage that you've had, so that people could maybe be inspired with their own courage, because you just mentioned that get out there and do that. But I see the near-death experiencers, when they come back, they just go full tilt. They have no constructs, no worried about, they know they're connected to source and they go for it. And you guys have gone for it. What would you say to help other people not be afraid to go for it right now, to share their genius?
It's such a big question, and the answer is really big, but the bottom line is you're here for a reason, and own up to that. And that's all we're looking for in each other, is for each of us to be sharing our gifts and to be real and raw and authentic. And that's it. And the bottom line is we're all here to love each other. So let's figure out what in each of us is blocking that love and making the outer reality look so chaotic sometimes. That's just stuff that's in each of us as individuals. And so, what are we holding in our emotional bodies? And let's release that so we can love at a higher level, so we can be loved at a higher level. And so we can watch this world change, not just for us and for our children, but as they say in the Native American cultures, for the next 7 generations. And the world can go in a number of different directions, and let's just make a conscious decision and choice on which direction we desire at the highest level for this planet, this world, and each of us to go.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, just give yourself some credit, like you have something for someone, and it could be the thing that shifts their life, or it could just be something that gives somebody a smile during that day. And remember that you're safe. you're safe to be authentic. You're safe to be yourself. That's what the world is needing most from you. And honestly, you're most in your power when you're in your truth, when not only when you're speaking your truth, but when you are just being your truth.
Beautiful, beautiful. The other thing I'd like to add, that was perfect. Thank you so much. Was that as we go through these changing times and we're being reflected things that we don't like, that's an opportunity for us to go and experience within. And don't be afraid for a little bit of tears or a little bit of discomfort, because it's momentary. We've stuffed things for so long, and we think that there's this big, hairy problem. But what happens is when you look at it and deal with it, it goes away. All that energy is freed, and all of that space is available for love. So that's the other thing I'd like people to think about, is that it really is worth it. It is worth the self-worth work and the finding your genius and being that.
Yeah.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Absolutely.
Well, yay. So, okay, so you're going to be in Boulder, Colorado. So I'm going to see you soon. And then you're going to be in Broomfield and in Denver and Castle Rock or Colorado Springs, I mean.
And Castle Rock.
Yeah. Oh, Castle Rock too.
We've got, starting on June 6th, we have
June 2nd.
We have, thank you. Yeah. We have 7 events in 5 days, and it's Broomfield, Boulder, Colorado Springs, Littleton, and Castle Rock. I know Castle Rock is already sold out. There's still seats for Littleton, Colorado Springs, a few seats for Boulder, and I think Broomfield even has a few still available. So go to itsallgood.com, click on the events tab, and find out how you can join us. And yeah, we can't wait to meet you, give you a great big hug, and raise your vibration and frequency.
And this is a life-changing event. You know, it's 2 hours of your life, but you will, just as I said, I remember distinctly being with you guys with 55 bowls or however many. I mean, it was amazing. It definitely left a different frequency in my field that I can connect to. And that's why not? Why not enjoy as much of this playground that was intended to be not a scary place, but a fun, loving, joyful place. So that's what we want to create with all of you. And if you're watching this later, please go to the website, go to itsallgood.com and see where they're going to be, because I have a funny feeling that's going to just keep growing to 2025, 2026. So,
and if you do happen to go to our website and we're not in your area, at the very bottom of the events page, you can request us to come to your area. Perfect. And we can look for a co-sponsor to bring us into their center, and or come and do a private event in your own home.
And also check out eesystem.com for the incredible scalar technology that contributed so much to my healing. Centers all over the world, and whether we're there or not, go check it out and you'll get some amazing results.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much, and bless your work. Bless you guys. And I'm so glad you could be here on Conscious Business Zone. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you so
we love
much.
you. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.